Okay. Um, we're a couple of days away from being down in LA and playing UCLA in a big game in the Rose Bowl. So our team's excited, very much looking forward to this opportunity to go down there, play in really just such a special stadium, such a special venue. So we're having a good day, couple days of practice. Thought we had two really good days on yesterday and Tuesday. Hopefully we'll have a great practice today and then get ourselves ready to fly down there on tomorrow afternoon and get ready. Have a good walkthrough Friday night, good walkthrough Saturday morning, and then go play the game. But our guys are ready. We'll see who's ready to play injury-wise, and whoever can play will play.
How's Denzel feeling?
He's feeling okay. I think he's going to be a stretch to be able to get him ready to play in this game, but we're going to do our best over these next 48 hours to push it, but not put him at risk.
Have you had a conversation with Audric in terms of, because of Denzel's situation, Braden's situation, have you had to have a conversation with him like you had with Jacob?
I did. I have had that conversation with him, and I think he's mulling it over, trying to make the best decision that he feels that he and his family believe he can make. Obviously, you know, I do believe there's some great value in playing football and playing in these games and potentially starting in these games, and hopefully he sees that same value. But again, those are unique set of circumstances, as in if he does play, he won't have a red shirt. Or if he does play, he'll have a red shirt available to him in the next couple of years. If he doesn't play, this would be his red shirt year. So he's going to have to decide. As I've told him, he's only a sophomore, and there's a lot of football left.
And also, does that mean that we could maybe see guys that haven't played this year, like a Marcus Harris or a ZG?
Yeah. Marcus Harris, yes. Chris Lawson, a lot of Chris Lawson. Kevin Green, we could definitely see. Luke Gayton, we could see. You know, there's definitely a group of guys that we could see more of, depending on the circumstances that occur.
Does that mean RVB is probably out?
Yeah. Again, we have to wait and see for the final decision, but yeah, most likely.
How is Jonah progressing this week?
Good. Jonah's having a good week. Good week, a good week, and we are excited about where it looks. Again, I thought he was going to play last week, and you know, kind of stuck his foot wrong in pregame warm-up. So hopefully that won't happen again, and hopefully we'll be able to play him. He's had a much better week this week than he did last week, so I'm confident that he'll play, but we'll see.
What is Garen brought to this group? I think he's the oldest guy in that room. You know, a lot of experience. What does he kind of add to that O-line?
Oh, he's brought a ton of leadership, and he's brought a ton of maturity to that group, and the guys really rallied behind him. They really enjoy having Garen around, and Garen's had to manage all the changes, right? His brother got hurt, and he had to stay strong and positive and confident with Zach. He wound up getting a different right tackle next to him. He stayed strong and positive with John Mills. He was able to, when Carver went down, he was really the oldest guy in the group and did a tremendous job of giving confidence to Max and giving confidence to Swanee. So I really credit Garen for doing an awesome job. Both Hatchett brothers, really. And when Drew went down, he's also one that Garen has just stayed positive throughout. And his leadership, and I also believe his football has really gotten good over the course of the 12 months he's been here.
How important is that to have an older guy who's played every single game, especially when you have so many young O-linemen who are getting snaps now?
Well, I mean, you said it. It's super important because we're playing so many young. You know, there's times that you have Champ in the game or Pocky in the game, and there's times you have Champ, Pocky, Zach, John. I mean, none of those guys are old, right? Redshirt sophomore or below. So we need to use the experiences of Carver, experiences of Garen, both on the sideline, you know, in between series, and when we're out in the huddle. It's super important, and he's done a great job with it.
With so many changes, Jedd, on the offensive line, do you feel good about the fact that you can maybe get a chance to start the same lineup two weeks in a row?
I do, and I think that the way they played last week was also something that makes me feel good in terms of that was their first start as that group, that unit. and to be able to go out there in the way that they did and be able to give us the balance that we wanted in run and pass, to be able to, I think we gave up 1 sack in the game, to be able to run for over 200 yards, to be able to really win the line of scrimmage with that group and then bring that group back another week. Everybody's healthy, moving into the game on Saturday. I certainly am a lot more confident just with the fact that they have a game experience.
You've talked a lot about this year about how many mouths you've had to feed and the lack of turns for everybody just because of the limited snaps in the Big Ten and what have you. When you see a guy like Jordan Washington have a game like he had, does that embolden you even with a guy like Jonah coming back, or how do you kind of approach that?
Yeah, I think anytime we can give any of these guys some playing experience, it enables us to find more opportunities for them if they do what we believe if they are who we believe they are. And Jordan showed that he could do the things that we thought he could do when we brought him here. He doesn't have to be just an outside perimeter runner. He doesn't have to just get the ball tossed to him. He doesn't have to just be a jet sweep guy, that we could hand the ball in between the tackles and he could do what he did. And he had, I think, 3 explosive runs out of the 4 runs he had, and I think probably the longest run of the year, and hit it 22.5 miles per hour when he hit it when he was running. So I need him to stay healthy. Can't get in a spot where he doesn't go back in the fourth quarter. He's ready to go. He had a great practice yesterday. He's hitting all of his speeds again. So, yeah, it's great. And we try to do the best we can to get guys opportunities, but we also, we don't just sub to sub. And I think in this case right now, Jonah, Adam, Jordan have really done a nice job. And then Quaid was able to get, some touches just to get going, get a taste of it, get a feel. And Ryken was able to do the same. So it was fun for the backs.
Dangerous had a really good game last week. What can you say about your young freshman linebacker?
I think he's has a chance to be elite. He's got all the size that you would ever want for a linebacker in this conference. He's got the athleticism that you want for a linebacker in this conference. He got off the ground on that pick. That was an impressive catch. He's got good hands. He's from Washington. He's in state. He's #1 player in the state last year. Came off of an injury. I don't know what it would have looked like if he wasn't coming off of an injury. Like, he obviously would have played a lot earlier in the year. So he has all the skills you need. He can run and hit. He's got great confidence. He's smart, so he's willing to pick up all the different schemes that we're asking him to do. We don't have to have just one specific package for Zay. Zay can do a lot. And he certainly showed that, as has the rest of that linebacker group.
Does Isaiah have a chance to go against UCLA?
Isaiah Ward? We'll know today at practice. He did some running yesterday, but it'll be a long shot.
Jed, if I remember right, the last time you were at the Rose Bowl as a head coach was 2022,
Yep.
And you won that game. Will you be keeping anything in the back of your mind about that game now that you're going back on the road and trying to win in a difficult place, especially for Washington?
Yeah, that time they were #9 in the country, and we were, I think, 3-6 at the time. That was our second year at Arizona, and we went out there, and they were 8-1, and we played really well. We played with great energy, great enthusiasm. We flew around. We held them, I think, to under 17 points. And we played exceptionally well in that game. And our guys were ready to go. Our guys were fired up. And they know, right, the same thing as our guys know here. You go there, it's really hard to win. I think we're 1-9 here in the last 10 games at Washington against UCLA on the road. And we need to make sure that we bring the energy, the passion, the fight that we brought in 22 along with us this year.
What happened with Justice and Armand Parker last week?
Justice Williams, we made a decision that we couldn't get him back healthy without having to get his toe repaired. So he's just getting his toe fixed, and Armand has an ACL injury, so he had to get operated on again on Monday. So
Also was curious about the differences in play calling that you've seen between Sunseri and Coach Neuheisel, and what have you seen in terms of their evolution when they had a new play caller?
Yeah, I have not watched any of UCLA's offense or defense prior to the play calling changes. So Coach Coyle came in and started calling the defense against starting Northwestern week. Coach Neuheisel started calling it Penn State week. So I have not seen the differences because I've only seen those two guys. And I've seen what they've done. I've seen, the differences in defensive scheme that Coach Coyle has brought all of his years in the NFL, all of his years of his time at Miami, his time at Cincinnati, his time at Fresno. You're able to see what he's tried to get accomplished. And then seeing what Jerry's done. I've known Jerry since 2005. So it's been fun to always root for him, to watch him. And I think he's done a tremendous job of utilizing the talent he has, utilizing that quarterback, and finding different ways to move the ball.
One last one about Garen. He said this is the most fun he's had in 6 years of college football. Do you guys see that, and how does that manifest? I guess?
Well, I love that. That's a direct reflection to our culture. It's a direct reflection to what we're trying to get accomplished here. It's why we do what we do. It's why we emphasize so much of a family relationship here. It's why we feel that the way we can build our team is build it through the people first. We always say we compete with schematics and we win with people. And I'm glad to hear that Garen has said that. That's awesome. Thanks. Okay. See you guys after the game.